Catholic followers of Pope Francis on social media, they now have the chance to reduce their time in purgatory. Yep, you've heard it right here. Here with the story is WSJ reporter Liam Maloney. He is in Rome. All right, Liam, so what exactly is the Pope now offering to his social media followers?
Hi. The Vatican is basically offering, or the Pope is offering Catholics that cannot attend next week World Youth Day in Rio, Brazil, the opportunity to use social media, and we're talking about Twitter, internet mainly, the opportunity to actually receive plenary indulgences. We might, just to brush off our catechism classes, basically an indulgence reduces or eliminates the time that the temporal penance of your soul while in purgatory, i.e. that place where residual sin is where residual is eliminated before actually going to heaven, unless you go to hell, obviously.
So are there any restrictions here? I mean, do you have to follow the events that the Vatican wants you to follow live? Can you follow them any time? I mean, how do you, are there any, I guess I said restrictions on getting these indulgences?
Yes, obviously the main restriction is that you have to go through the Holy Sacrament of Penance, i.e. confession. You must confess. You, as a penitent, must actually, be heartily sorry for your sins, and so you must have been received penance by a priest. This means that you actually don't just click on the internet and receive penance. You are actually acting as you are there. So you have to go through the spiritual commitments of any Catholic that is actually present at Rio for next week World Youth Day. That is basically what the Catholic Church is doing here is blending an ancient instrument such as indulgences, as they go way back to the Middle Ages, with the new technology of social media.
Liam, have you heard any pushback about this? I mean, you mentioned the Middle Ages. I know back then that the indulgences in some cases got a bad name when some unscrupulous salesmen, would sell them. Is there anybody who's saying by trying to get followers and boost your following that it could be the same thing? Have you heard that at all?
Not at all. I mean, this bad name has actually been, as you rightly said in the past, has been used. But the previous Pope, Benedict XVI, and John Paul II, actually pushed indulgences back very much into the forefront of the Catholic Church. It is a very spiritual element where you where you actually are, as I said, you confess your sins. You are heartily sorry for what you have done, and this is a very spiritual thing, according to the Church, that allows you to redeem some of your punishment for what, if you would be punished, obviously, in purgatory.
All right, Liam, thanks so much for being there. This maybe this will boost the Pope's Twitter accounts, 2.6 million. I think Lady Gaga's still around 39 million, so he's going to catch up. Thanks for being with us.
Looking to absolve your sins? Well, the solution is right at your fingertips. The Vatican has announced Pope Francis will be offering forgiveness in 140 characters or less. Per tradition, Francis will offer plenary indulgences, that is, reductions on purgatory time, to participants at World Youth Day later this month. A Vatican official told Vatican Radio indulgences are linked to a theme that Pope Francis has spoken very frequently about since the moment of his election, that is to say, to the gift of God's mercy. About 2 million pilgrims are expected to head to Rio de Janeiro for the new pontiff's first trip abroad, hoping to shave off some time in limbo. But they're not the only ones. Any of his 7 million Twitter followers legitimately prevented from attending will have the same opportunities. Francis has extended the rites and pious exercises of the event to those following it on TV, radio, and through social media. But there's a catch. A Vatican source tells The Guardian you must follow the events live online. Periodically scrolling through the Holy See's Twitter feed just won't cut it. Archbishop Claudio Maria Celli put it this way: you don't get the indulgence the way you get a coffee from a vending machine. There's no counter handing out certificates. Perhaps the news shouldn't come as that much of a surprise. The Vatican, while often criticized for being slow to change, has found new ways to connect with followers outside beyond church pews. It now has a Facebook page, YouTube channel, and even a Pope app for Catholics on the go. But while the church may be getting more tech-savvy, Francis himself still has a ways to go. A Catholic TV channel editor reflects on a conversation he once had with the Pope. Once I wanted to give him a CD player. He asked me how many buttons it had. 3 or 4, I said. And then he said, it's not for me. It gives me a headache if there are more than 2. Francis's Twitter account tweets in 9 languages, including Latin. For Newsy, I'm Zach Toombs. Multiple sources, a broader view.